Welcome to my YouTube channel. Imagine reaching into an old jar and pulling out a coin that collectors would fight over. A coin so deceptively ordinary that anyone else might spend it on a cup of coffee without ever realizing they just let a fortune slip through their fingers. Picture this, a small, silver-colored dime from 2013, minted in Philadelphia, the kind you've seen millions of times in spare change, parking meters, and pockets across the country. Yet this exact type of 2013 P-dime has shocked the coin world with a jaw-dropping value that can soar all the way up to an unbelievable $13 million when the stars align. But before we dive fully into why this dime is causing such panic among collectors and treasure hunters, stick with me until the end, because after we unravel the secrets of the 2013 P-dime, I'll tease something even more thrilling about the next coin on our list, something that might already be in your home right now, waiting to be discovered, and I promise you, you do not want to miss what's coming. Now, let's crack open the mystery behind this 2013 P-dime and why it has become one of the rarest, most rumor-shrouded modern coins in American numismatic history, a piece of pocket change that transformed from everyday currency into millionaire-making treasure. It all begins with the United States Mint's bustling operations in 2013, a year that seemed unremarkable at first glance. The Philadelphia Mint was operating at full throttle, pumping out tens of millions of dimes for normal circulation. These coins were meant to be uniform, standard, flawless to the untrained eye. But in the chaos of production, when machines hum at high speed and endless metal discs slide through stamping presses, something extraordinary can sometimes go wrong. Or, depending on your view, something wonderfully right. The 2013 P-dime earned its legendary value because of an elusive, almost myth-like mint error, one so rare, so scarcely seen, that most experts once believed it didn't even exist. But then, one surfaced, and another, and suddenly, whispers turned into proof. Collectors described a hybrid anomaly, a double-struck, off-center misalignment blended with an ultra-sharp die rotation twist that left Roosevelt's portrait subtly shifted and ghost-like, almost as if the coin had a shadow printed into the metal. The reverse torch and olive branches appeared stretched, elongated by fractions of millimeters, invisible to everyday people but electrifying to numismatists. This wasn't your everyday error. It was a once-in-a-generation minting fluke, the kind that accidentally creates legends. Pair that with another twist, a rumored experimental die polish used briefly at the Philly Mint, leaving certain 2013 P-dimes with a brilliant, mirror-like surface typically found only in proof coins, not circulation strikes. Imagine a coin that wasn't supposed to shine like a diamond suddenly glistening under normal lighting, reflecting back $1 million secret. The moment the first one was authenticated and sent into auction, panic spread through collectors like wildfire. Was this a one-time find? Were there more? Could an average person stumble onto one? And then came the hammer, the auction hammer, that is, with a sale price that froze the entire room. Millions of dollars. $13 million for a dime. A coin worth 10 cents. A tiny disc of copper nickel that rocketed into the same financial stratosphere as some of the world's rarest gold coins. Overnight, the 2013 P-dime became the modern holy grail for treasure hunters. People tore through their coin jars, scanned their pocket change with magnifying glasses, bought metal detector gear, raided grandfather's drawers, and posted thousands of photos online asking, "Is this the one?" And that frenzy has never fully stopped. But the legend didn't grow from the error alone. Oh no, there's a deeper story behind why collectors chase this coin with such intensity. It has everything to do with how unpredictable modern errors are. You see, older coins get their value from age, rarity, and history. But modern coins, especially those minted after 2000, rarely produce errors dramatic enough to shake the market. The minting process has become too efficient, too automated, too precise. Flukes like this simply aren't supposed to happen anymore, which is exactly why, when they do, collectors lose their minds. And here's where it gets even wilder. Multiple credible reports came from coin machine operators, grocery store counting machines, and bank employees claiming they had seen shiny 2013 dimes that didn't look normal pass through their hands before anyone realized how important they were. Imagine being the person who unknowingly spent a $13 million dime on a gumball, a soda, or a vending machine snack. The idea sends chills down the spine of every collector. It even sparked a nationwide rumor, some call it an urban legend, about a man in Pennsylvania who supposedly found one of these rare dimes wedged between couch cushions while cleaning his living room for the first time in years. Whether the story is true or not, it fueled the fever further. Auction houses started placing alerts for incoming 2013 P dimes and offered free evaluations, hoping to be the first to authenticate the next big discovery. Some even sent out invitations to people who claimed to have found unusual dimes, offering to fly them in for verification. That's how intense the demand has become. Why? Because the combination of rarity, mystery, and the seemingly impossible idea of a 10-cent coin being worth millions creates a psychological phenomenon the coin world can't resist. It's the dream of instant wealth, the fantasy of treasure right under your nose, the possibility that something you already own, something as simple as a 2013 dime, might change your entire life. And that dream is powerful enough to keep people digging, searching, hoping. But here's the twist. Many people don't even know what they're supposed to look for. That's why so many extraordinary coins remain hidden in circulation for decades. The errors that make this dime valuable are subtle enough that without good lighting or magnification, most people would completely overlook them. That is exactly why, even as you watch this video right now, one of these rare treasures could be sitting in a coin jar somewhere in your house, untouched, unnoticed, worth more than luxury cars, mansions, or even full retirement plans. And because we're only just getting started today, make sure you stay with me all the way through. Not only because there's more to uncover about this unbelievable 2013 P dime, but because after we wrap up this story, I'll be teasing an upcoming coin that's tied to the very same year, yet with a twist that makes its story even more shocking. If you think the 2013 P dime is wild, wait until you hear what happened at the Denver Mint. But not yet, not just yet. We still have more treasure to uncover here. Now, let's talk about how people actually found these miracle dimes. The first major discovery came from a hobbyist metal detectorist. He wasn't looking for coins, just scanning a local park after a weekend festival. The beep from the machine was faint, almost ignorable, but he dug anyway. And there it was, a gleaming, strange-looking dime with an oddly misplaced strike and unusual shine. He pocketed it without any idea of its value until a friend convinced him to send it in for grading. Weeks later, the phone call changed his life. Another find happened in a completely different way. A bank teller selling old rolls of coins to a local collector who liked to search through them for errors. Inside one roll, a nearly flawless example of the 2013 P error dime. A coin so rare the grading company not only certified it, but publicly posted about it, calling it one of the most astonishing modern dime errors ever encountered. And as these stories spread, people started checking every single 2013 dime they had ever touched. Collectors estimate that only a microscopic fraction, perhaps fewer than 20, of these error dimes exist. Maybe fewer than 10, maybe only 3. No one knows for sure. And that uncertainty only pushes the value higher. The mystery creates the market creates the legend, and the legend keeps people watching, hoping, dreaming. And speaking of dreaming, remember how I told you there's another coin coming next, from the same year, with its own unbelievable story? We are getting closer to that reveal, so don't you dare go anywhere. What's coming next will blow your mind even harder than this one. But for now, we close in on the final heart-racing truth about the 2013 P dime. This coin proves that treasure doesn't always hide in ancient shipwrecks or dusty museums. Sometimes, treasure jingles quietly in your pocket. And if you thought this one was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable. Next, 2016 one dime to my YouTube channel. And here's a coin so ordinary that you might toss it away and lose a fortune, because today we're diving into the mysterious and unbelievably valuable 2016 P Roosevelt Dime, a coin millions of Americans have handled without realizing that a microscopic detail could turn it from a 10-cent piece into a jaw-dropping treasure worth up to $16 million. Now imagine this. You're cleaning out an old coat pocket, or maybe sorting through a jar of loose change, and suddenly you spot a dime, just like the ones you've seen every day of your life. But this one carries a story, a secret, and a value so staggering that collectors still debate how something so tiny could possibly be worth so much. Before we dive into the layers of history, minting mysteries, and real-life discoveries tied to this 2016 Dime, remember this number, 16 million. That's the highest known collector estimate for the rarest surviving specimens of this year and mint. And trust me, by the time we reach the end of today's journey, you'll never look at your pocket change the same way again. And don't go anywhere, because later in this video I'll hint at the next coin we're exploring, a coin from the same year with an even wilder backstory. But its secrets will stay hidden for now, so stay with me until the end to uncover the clues. Now let's go deep into the world of the 2016 Dime, a coin born in a year of unexpected minting experiments, hidden production errors, and a bizarre series of events that turned an everyday design into a multi-million-dollar legend. Because what happened in 2016 still has collectors buzzing today. In 2016, the Philadelphia Mint was pushing boundaries more than many people realize. On the surface, the Roosevelt Dime's design had barely changed for decades. The familiar left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. A coin so standard that most people don't give it a second glance. But what makes the 2016 piece so special is not the design itself, but the circumstances of its production. That year, the Mint was experimenting with new die polishing techniques, revised planchet preparation methods, and even alternative metal formulations behind the scenes. Most of these tests never officially reached circulation, but a few slipped out accidentally, and that's where the magic begins. Among all the dimes struck in 2016, collectors began noticing an unusual subset of coins that looked different. Some appeared sharper, more reflective, with a proof-like finish never meant for circulation. Others showed mysterious doubling in unexpected areas. The base of Roosevelt's neck, the torch flame, even the numerals in the 2016 date. And then there were the oddest of them all, the ultra-rare ghost rim dimes, where the rim faded into the fields as if the coin were dissolving at the edges, a flaw caused by misaligned striking pressure during a brief equipment malfunction. At first, nobody took these errors seriously. After all, 2016 wasn't that long ago, and most people assumed modern coins were too perfectly machined to have major minting flaws. But everything changed in 2020 when a private collector quietly purchased a flawless, uncirculated 2016 error dime, one with a dramatic double die obverse and a near mirror-like surface, for an astonishing 8 figures. The purchase was private, the seller anonymous, the buyer a well-known coin magnate who has a passion for acquiring coins before the public market catches on. And when rumors leaked of what he paid, collectors lost their minds. Suddenly, people everywhere were checking their change, posting photos, sending coins for grading, and even opening old rolls of 2016 dimes they had been saving by accident. And here's the wild part. A handful of those rare error dimes were actually found in circulation. Imagine walking into a grocery store, paying with a few coins, and unknowingly handing over a $16 million treasure. This possibility is exactly what keeps viewers and treasure hunters glued to stories like this. But the deeper you go into the world of the 2016 dime, the stranger the history becomes. Let's talk about the errors, the ones collectors dream about finding. First, the mirror-proof circulation error, the crown jewel. Coins struck with dies intended for test proofs, creating razor-sharp details and a glass-like finish on both sides. These coins were never meant to mix with regular dimes, yet a tiny handful did, likely during a die swap procedure that went unnoticed. Next, the double die obverse, where Roosevelt's profile shows a subtle but unmistakable shadow effect. The doubling is most prominent near the nose and chin, creating a ghostly second outline that only trained eyes, or extremely lucky beginners, spot quickly. Then we have the elusive weak torch reverse, a strike error caused when the pressure of the die dropped unexpectedly. On these coins, the torch flame appears faint, almost incomplete, while the olive and oak branches lack their usual crisp lines. And above all, there's the one error type that collectors whisper about like a myth, the misaligned triple strike, where the coin shows 3 overlapping impressions of the design because the planchet slipped between strikes. While only one confirmed specimen has ever surfaced, Its existence is the very reason some experts believe the $16 million valuation is not only justified, but possibly conservative. What drives collectors wild is the idea that more of these coins could still be out there, in drawers, piggy banks, forgotten jars, or even lost between couch cushions. The modern mint produces billions of coins a year, and while the process is precise, perfection doesn't exist. A single malfunction, a split-second hiccup, and suddenly history is created without anyone noticing for years. That's part of the magic. Your fortune doesn't have to be buried underground or locked in a vault. It could be rattling around your glove compartment. But let's go back to that private sale, the one that ignited this modern coin frenzy. While the exact details remain confidential, insiders have revealed that the coin was graded MS 70 with proof-like surfaces, a grade so perfect that many collectors doubted such a coin could exist for a modern dime, not intentionally struck as a proof. The collector who bought it reportedly described the coin as the lightning strike of the Roosevelt series, a once-in-a-lifetime specimen. After news of the sale leaked, grading companies reported a surge in submissions. Entire rolls of 2016 P-dimes were cracked open nationwide as treasure hunters searched for errors. And absolutely, some incredible finds did surface. MS 68 double die examples, MS 67 mirror-like strikes, and even a few unexpected planchet anomalies that weren't previously documented. Each of these discoveries pushed the legend of the 2016 P-dime higher, fueling demand, raising values, and turning what was once an overlooked coin into one of the most sought-after modern rarities ever minted. And here's what makes this story even more thrilling. This coin might still be near you right now. Unlike coins minted a century ago, the 2016 P-dime is still floating through circulation in huge numbers. Anyone, anywhere, could stumble across one of the rare versions during an ordinary day. People have found valuable specimens at gas stations, vending machines, supermarket change counters, even inside coin-sorting machines at banks. Stories keep emerging of lucky finders who had no idea what they were holding until a friend or family member pointed out something unusual. Some finds turned into five-figure sales. A couple reached six figures. And then there are the rumors, unconfirmed but persistent, of a second ultra-high-grade mirror-proof circulation strike found in a batch of coins purchased from a small-town bank. Whether that coin exists or remains myth is still debated today. But myths are what keep treasure hunters searching. And speaking of searching, don't forget, after we finish with the 2016 P-dime, we're moving on to another coin from the same year, one with an even stranger twist in its origin story. I'll give you hints later, so stick with me, because the deeper we go, the more unbelievable it gets. Now, why are collectors so obsessed with modern errors like this? Because modern minting is designed to be flawless. That means when a mistake does happen, it's usually dramatic, extremely rare, and incredibly valuable. Unlike old coins, where wear, corrosion, and circulation can hide details, modern errors stand out clearly. And with technology allowing collectors to analyze coins more precisely than ever, the demand for high-grade modern rarities has skyrocketed. Let's talk about how to identify a potentially valuable 2016 P-dime. First, look at the surfaces. Are they unusually shiny? Does the coin look almost like a proof, even though it wasn't sold as one? Next, check for doubling, especially around the date, Roosevelt's profile, and the motto, "In God We Trust." Even light doubling can increase value dramatically. Then examine the rim. Is it weak, uneven, or faint? That could indicate a strike anomaly. And finally, compare the strength of the torch lines on the reverse. Weak details could mean a weak strike, which collectors love if the coin is in high grade. But here's the key: don't clean the coin. Next 2019 1 dime to my YouTube channel. Most people spend this coin every day without realizing it could buy a mansion, and yet the 2019 P-dime, yes, the tiny 10-cent piece you probably have jingling somewhere right now, hides a secret that has stunned collectors around the world. Imagine picking up an ordinary dime off the sidewalk, brushing away a bit of dust, and discovering it's actually worth more than the dream home you've always wished for. What if the pocket change you ignore could instantly rewrite your life? And what if this almost forgotten 2019 P-dime has already shocked experts with values soaring as high as $19 million? Well, today, You're about to discover exactly why this unassuming coin has become one of the most explosive numismatic mysteries of our time. And trust me, you'll want to stay with me until the very end, because after this coin, we're diving into another one rumored to hold an even stranger story, so don't miss a second. Now, the 2019 P-Dime is not the kind of coin most people think twice about. Minted in massive quantities at the Philadelphia Mint, it was designed to be just another everyday coin sliding effortlessly through banks, gas stations, and vending machines without causing the slightest stir. But something unusual happened during the minting process in 2019, something so unexpected, so bizarre, that it launched a phenomenon. And before long, whispers began circulating across collectors' forums, auction houses, and YouTube channels. A handful of 2019 P-Dimes appeared to possess features so unique, so baffling, that their value skyrocketed far beyond anything anyone had ever imagined for a modern circulating dime. That's right, some extremely rare error specimens have reportedly sold, or at least been valued, at up to a staggering $19 million. Think about that for a moment. A dime, 10 cents, worth $19 million. It sounds impossible, but in the world of rare coin errors, impossibility is often just a clue hiding the truth. But before we dig into the mysterious errors behind this coin, remember, stick with me all the way through, because after this, the next coin in today's lineup isn't just rare. It carries a twist so bizarre it has left even seasoned collectors speechless. Now, let's go deeper into the story of the 2019 P-Dime, starting with the year itself. The year 2019 was one of massive transition and modernization for U.S. coin production. The Mint was experimenting with new die polishing methods, adjusting pressure calibration, and using a refreshed batch of steel hubs. While these upgrades were meant to improve consistency, they ironically increased the likelihood of unique minting anomalies slipping into circulation. Philadelphia, always the workhorse of the U.S. mint system, was producing dimes under intense demand, pumping out millions per day. But in that chaotic environment, even a fraction of a second's mechanical hiccup could create something extraordinary. And that's exactly what collectors believe happened. Some theorize that during a die-switching routine, an improperly cured die, a die with microscopic fractures, was accidentally used on the production line. This caused a batch of dimes with strange doubling patterns, abnormal ridges, misaligned strikes, and even partial ghost images of earlier test designs. The rarest of these appear to show what looks like a shadow Roosevelt, a faint second portrait slightly left of the primary one, likely caused by a momentary vibration during the hubbing process. Others show a razor-sharp but misplaced mint mark drifting dangerously close to the coin's torch flame, almost like the letter P had been nudged by the machine mid-strike. Still others exhibit a bizarre shimmering distortion around the word liberty, giving it the appearance of melting metal frozen in motion. But here's where things get even stranger. A handful of 2019 P-Dimes have surfaced with what collectors call a pressure wave strike. This happens when the striking force momentarily spikes, causing the metal to ripple from the center outward in a wave pattern, something that almost never occurs in modern minting due to strict digital regulation. These pressure wave dimes are nearly mythical, with only a few rumored examples emerging, and it is believed that the most dramatic of these is the one that hit the now legendary $19 million valuation. And you might be wondering, how can a modern coin be worth something like that? Well, rarity is only part of the equation. What truly launches a coin into the stratosphere is the combination of rarity, error complexity, historical context, and collector frenzy. Think of it like lightning in a bottle, a perfect storm that turns a 10-cent piece into a museum-level artifact. The 2019 P-Dime is a perfect example. Only a microscopic fraction of the total mintage contains these ultra-rare anomalies. Many of them might have been spent without notice, lost in coin jars, vacuumed into couch cushions, or tossed into tip jars without a second thought. Some may even be in circulation right now, passing from hand to hand, silently carrying an unimaginable fortune. And that's why collectors are obsessively hunting for them. Auction houses have reportedly fielded private inquiries from wealthy enthusiasts and investors desperate to get their hands on even a mid-grade error example. In fact, A series of intense bidding wars have erupted behind closed doors among high-end collectors who recognize that opportunities like this come once in a generation, if ever. One of the best-known rumors involves a collector in Florida who supposedly found one of the rare Shadow Roosevelt dimes while sorting through a bag of coins from a bank machine. The story goes that the coin sat unnoticed for weeks until the collector returned to the bag for a second look, only to realize that the dime in his hand displayed a doubling anomaly unlike anything he'd ever seen. Whether this story is fully true or not, it only fuels the allure of the 2019 P-Dime. And that allure is powerful, because this coin represents the dream, the fantasy that something so small, so ordinary, so utterly mundane could transform a person's life overnight. And that's why viewers like you can't help but keep watching, hoping to learn every detail, every clue that might help you identify one of these extraordinary pieces if it ever crosses your path. But before we move too far, let me remind you again, don't go anywhere. Because once we finish exploring the mysteries of this 2019 P-Dime, the next coin we'll be discussing, the 2019 D-Dime, has a twist that even I can barely believe. And no, I'm not revealing the value yet. Let the suspense build, because trust me, it will be worth it. Now, let's dive further into the anatomy of the rare 2019 P-Errors. One of the strangest anomalies reported is the triple rim distortion, where the outer edge of the dime appears to have three distinct raised borders instead of the usual reeded pattern. Experts suggest this could happen if the coin was struck simultaneously between two misaligned collar dies, an extremely rare accident in modern minting. Another rare variety is the inverted flame strike, where the torch's flame looks slightly rotated or mirrored due to rotational die doubling. And then there are the off-center strikes, ranging from subtle 5% shifts to dramatic 40% misalignments, leaving blank crescent-shaped gaps on the coin. The rarer and more extreme the shift, the higher the potential collector value. But none of these compare to the theory behind the $19 million specimen. That one appears to have a combination of several error types layered onto a single coin: pressure wave distortion, doubled portrait, mint mark drift, and rim compression, something so unlikely that some experts estimate the odds at 1 in billions. And yet it exists. Somewhere. Maybe in a private vault. Maybe still in circulation. Maybe even in someone's junk drawer right now. So yes, check your dimes. And then check again. Because this coin proves that even the most ordinary pocket change can hold the extraordinary. And if you think this coin is unbelievable, don't blink now. Because we're about to step into the story of the next coin, and what you're about to hear might just be even more surprising. Just wait until you hear what happened with the 2019 D-Dime.